Hi there, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and it is Saturday, so I have got a Simple Saturday card for you, just like I do every other Saturday. If you don't want to miss any of those Simple Saturday cards, just subscribe to my YouTube channel and then you won't miss any. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Sue's Paper Creations. So today I wanted to focus on a really quick and easy technique. Doesn't take a lot of time, but looks amazing, and it looks like you spent tons of time on it. So to do that, I wanted to bring in one of my favorite stamp sets that is retiring. I mean, this is it here. It's called Remarkable You, and when I saw this in the annual catalog a couple years ago, you know, it had me at hello. I opened up that page, I saw these beautiful images, and right away I knew watercoloring, embossing, blending, just lots of different things. Masking I've done with this one as well. So it is a beautiful one. If you want some great ideas for any stamp set, all you have to do is Google the stamp set's name and you will come up with tons and tons of different images. As for my Simple Saturday, I do one every Saturday, so remember to subscribe if you want to be able to catch all the different ideas that you can do nice and quick and easy for cards. Okay, so I am going to get started. I am going to be using not only this retired stamp set, but retired colors. So you guys probably heard that Stampin' Up! Is retiring 13 beautiful colors. They have brought in 16 beautiful colors, but they are retiring some of my favorites. So I'm going to be using some of those today. I am going to be working with the Shimmer White cardstock, and this cardstock is gorgeous. It has got just a beautiful sheen to it. Can you guys see that? I'm trying to make it catch the light so you guys can see. There it is a little bit. It's hard to tell in this light, but it does have a gorgeous shine to it, and it takes water really well. So I often use this instead of watercolor paper, and it's more reasonable. I love the additional sheen that you get on your project, and ink just really flows really easy with it. Okay, for this you will also need, this is why I love this technique, is simple. You have got these sitting around in your stamp room already. So I have got a block H and I have got a block D, but you could use whatever size blocks that you want. You could do a full wash and color the entire paper with a larger block if you wanted, but I wanted to do some actual block work today. Okay, I am going to bring in Wild Wasabi, Wisteria Wonder, Perfect Plum, and Marina Mist are the colors that are going to be retiring that I'm going to be using today, as well as our Archival Black. So this is going to be retiring as well. This is a great black ink pad. If you don't already have it, it's great for watercoloring, working with your blends, your blender pens, and it's a great staple in the craft room. So that's one you want to get. And remember, when you purchase those ink pads, you want to remember to get the refills. Grab those too, because once the colors are gone and your ink pad starts to run out, you won't be able to re-ink it unless you have the refills. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in for this amazing technique so you guys can just see how this water just spreads. I am going to start with a block of color that's going to run across my paper, and to do that I am going to take my ink pad. I've got Marina Mist, and I'm just going to dab it onto my block. Then I'm going to bring in Wild Wasabi, and I'm going to do the exact same. So when you just look at your block, it's hard to tell how much color you've actually applied to the block. So I like to have my white piece of paper ready, because if I hold it over the white piece of paper, then I can see how much color I've actually applied. So that can give you a bit of a guideline. If you want it a little bit darker, then you want to add more. If you want it lighter, then you can just dab a little bit off. Okay, but I am good with that. Now, another thing that you're going to need is some sort of spritzer for water. Stampin' Up! Has these awesome little Stampin' Spritzers, and they are perfect for not only this technique, but if you add rubbing alcohol and a couple drops of your ink into them, then you can use them for all sorts of different things. So I'm going to get my white paper out of the way, because I don't want it wet yet, and I'm going to spray just a couple spritzes, just like that, over top of the block. See how the color is pooling on there. That is what I want. That's perfect. I'm going to bring in my piece of paper and I'm just going to press down. So when you press down, what is going to happen? It's magical. Every single time, it is a wow moment. There it is. What happens is the color, once you press it onto the paper, the color starts to blend and you get this beautiful wash of color. And there is not going to be two that will ever be alike. So every single time it is a different, you're going to have different tones, you're going to have different shades, lighter, darker. There's no way of kind of controlling how the water is going to flow in there, but you can control a little bit how light it is. And I'm going to show you how you can lift color off of this. So we're going to do that on one of the cards. We're going to add more color and one of them we're going to lift. So I've had that sitting there for a second. I am going to just pull it up. There is the color sitting there. Now you might think, oh, look at all those little dots of color. I don't want that. Well, this is actually one that, and you can see actually you can see them start to fade. Look at that. They're already fading. But as it dries, it blends. So don't worry about all those little marks there, okay? Those are just going to be areas of light and dark color. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to bring in our other block here, our block D, and I am going to do the same with Perfect Plum and Wisteria Wonder. So I'm going to do half and half here. I'm going to do the Wisteria Wonder. I think I'm going to do that on the top when I put it down, and I'm going to do the Perfect Plum on the bottom. So this is where you get to you know, just make a few little decisions as you go. I'm going to, I think, put the darker color on the bottom and the lighter color on the top when I place this down. But I'm going to, again, start by just spritzing a little bit of water on there. And you can see how that starts to pool up, which is perfect. When I flip it over, I'm going to make sure that my darker is on the bottom, lighter is on the top. You could do the opposite. This is your creation. And I'm going to put it down. Are we ready? I'm doing it slowly so you can kind of see. Love it. Okay. So now you can see how right in the corner here, how it is not spreading. So that is an area where not as much water got on the block. I am good with that. This is just, and same with this little void here. I like the little imperfections. This is just a different look that you would achieve with it. If you don't want that look, I'm going to show you what you can do, but I personally like it. And I will show you a sample of a card that I did and I left the voids. Okay, I'm going to pull that up just like that. So if you weren't happy with the fact that you have those little voids, this is where you could go in with your aqua painter and you could just blend it out a little bit. So just pool that color, that pooled color there, and spread it. So, I mean, it's an easy fix, but I'm going to show you a card that I left the voids just on the side here, and I really like the effect that it gave. Okay, so we have got our blocking done. So that was quick and easy. I mean, I've been chatting away as I did it, so took a little bit longer, but you can see how this would only take just a few minutes to do a whole bunch of color blocking. Line up all your papers and do them all at the same time. Okay, now I'm going to bring in a couple that are already dry, I did these earlier, and I'm going to stamp on these ones with our images. Again, I'm using the archival black, and I am going to bring in the beautiful, I'm going to pull you out just a little bit for this, the beautiful lotus blossom on this one, because this is my favorite image. Although, no, I can't say it's my favorite. I do love the calla lilies. I love them all in this one, actually. They're just slightly different, but they're all beautiful. So I'm going to pull in this one, and I am actually going to, I always like to use my pad underneath it. I know that this is not a photopolymer stamp, but I do have a little bit of an uneven surface here. So this is just going to even everything out when I stamp. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm just going to hold it down for just a couple seconds. 1, 2, 3, and pull that up. And there is my beautiful flower on there. Now this one is quite dark in certain areas, and once I get the other one stamped, I'm going to show you how I'm going to add some color, but I'm also going to draw some color out and make this lotus blossom lighten up. Okay, so I'm going to show you that in a second. So let's just get our stamping done first though. I'm going to bring in the leaves, and I'm going to again use that archival black. And I'm going to bring in my image here, or my block of color. We're going to stamp this over top. So again, I just hold it there for a couple seconds. Pull it up. And voila. Beautiful, hey? Okay. So let's show you the difference between adding some color and then drawing some color out to do some highlights. Think of it as highlights and lowlights, just like you would get done in your hair. We're doing the same sort of stuff with this. So I am going to add some color to these leaves to darken them up. Now, I think that this looks beautiful just as is, with the imagery coming outside of the blocked area, and you could leave it just like that and it would look gorgeous. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to bring in our wild wasabi. I've got some color pooled in the top here, and I'm going to just color these leaves outside of our color block and go over these ones that are within the lines and just darken them out a little bit. So that is going to just bring a little bit more attention to the leaves and fade that color blocking into the background a little bit. So it's just going to it's ever so slight when you go color over color, but when it's dried and when it's done, you'll see the effect that it gets, and I'll show you that in one that's finished here in a second. So with the watercolor, I could go in, I'm going to just get a little bit more concentration by just squeezing the top here. And I'm going to go in, and even on these little lined areas, just add a little bit more, because this is how you get your shading when you're watercoloring, is you just add a couple more layers of color where you want it to be darker and where you want it to highlight, and it just, you know, gives you that light and dark, because in nature, colors are not all even. Okay. So there is, isn't that beautiful? So that brings the green outside of that color block, and I think it's really effective and pretty. That didn't take very long, you know, a little bit of coloring, but really easy coloring. Okay, so I'm going to put that one aside. Now I'm going to do the opposite with this one, and with this one I am going to draw the color off. So I want to make sure I have all my paper towel here. I want to make sure that my aqua painter is clean. I don't want any of that green that I just put on my last card to go onto this card. Okay, now to remove color, very simple. You just want to take a clean aqua painter with some water in it, and you can go over the image just like so, and you can go petal by petal if you want. And you can just highlight, or if you wanted highlights in certain areas of a petal, like I'll show you in a second in one of them here, but I'm going to show you how I can just take, it's already lightening up when I add the little bit of water, but once it's wet, just dab it just a little bit. See that? See how that lightens it up? So this is how you work your color with watercoloring, and you can remove a little bit of that color that you want removed. You want it lighter. So I'm going to really concentrate on this little tiny outside line and see if I can't remove just a little bit more from this one area, just to show you how you could highlight certain, see how that's highlighted just a little bit? Over here you can highlight and lighten up just certain areas if you want. I'm going to try and do majority of the flower. Look at my watercoloring mess here I've got. I've been experimenting with this for a while. I was wanting to make a bunch of thank you cards to send in the mail. So, and I wanted to make some beautiful ones. I wanted to make them quick. So I actually have done quite a bit in the last probably 20 minutes. So I'm going to show you all the ones I've done in the last 20 minutes. It's that quick. Okay, so that lightens it up. You can see how that draws the color out and really lightens it. Now, if you wanted to and you didn't want this as light, you could put some color back in. It's easy, okay? You just work your aqua painter and work the color that you're working with, okay? So now I'm going to finish these off. I'm going to stamp a little thank you so that I can pop these on them in the mail on Monday. So you guys remember, Mail It Monday is something that I am trying to spread the word on, as well as fellow demonstrators that I know. We're all trying to spread the word to mail things on Monday. So it's just a reminder, beginning of the week, you know, as you're looking for something to do on the weekend, think of those people in your life that need maybe a little hug in the mail, need to be brightened up, someone you need to thank, someone you need to wish a happy birthday coming up. Pull out those beautiful cards you've made, or create some simple Saturday cards just like this and pop them in the mail on Monday. So mail out those beautiful cards on Monday, okay? All right, so now I'm going to finish these up. Really easy. I'm going to add my snail here. Where have you gone? Oh, here you are, right here. So I'm just going to add these onto here like this, and I'll just finish off one for you guys, and then I'll show you some samples that I've done. So easy. Bring in a white base, and it's amazing how just like if you were to do a photo, this is what you're doing, you're creating art, right? It's amazing how just matting something up like this, it really changes the look and adds a wow factor just by adding that little bit of color. Whoop. Okay. I'm going to pop that on like that. There we go. Voila. So there you have a finished card. I'm going to bring in some. Oh, I'm not quite finished. I was having a look at the clearance, and like I said, we have lots of things that are retiring, but we also added a ton of different things to the clearance rack. So right now, we have got these beautiful black rhinestones. They were in, I want to say they were in the occasions catalog, around holiday catalog at Christmas time. They came out for probably with the Halloween stuff actually, but I don't remember how much the price was. I think there are $6 something in the catalog. On clearance rack right now for $2.60. So grab those sort of things. Check out the clearance rack. All of our beautiful holiday paper that was in the catalog just this past Christmas is all marked down to $5-6 a package, and that stuff was gorgeous. It had some of the Year of Cheer, that shimmer to it with all the different tones of metal, as well as musical note one, and there was one that had greens. I can't remember what it was called, but beautiful papers. And grab them while they're, you know, $5 to $7. They used to be $15 to $17. So, you know, take advantage of that sort of stuff. Check out the clearance rack, okay? Check out the retired list. And let me show you. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This was one that had the voids. And see that? I love it. I wouldn't change that. And again, I've highlighted a little bit in there. So that's another one that I added a little bit of highlights to. This one I did opposite, right? So this is the look that you get. Let's see if I have another finished purple one. I don't, so I'll just put these beside each other. This is the look. So this is the lighter, a little highlight. This is darker. Okay, so this is just adding color, and this is taking away color. So two totally different looks, both beautiful. Okay, here's one that has kind of the finished rhinestones, so you can compare a little bit better. Okay, I like them both, but different. All right, then we have got, this was the calla lilies. Again, this was one taking away the color, but tempting turquoise, which is another color that is retiring. Very sad. Okay, just other versions of what I've done. And this one here, gorgeous. This is Peekaboo Peach, and this is Tangerine Tango. Again, two colors that are going to be retiring, and so you want to get those ink pads and re-inkers while you can. And this is the other image from this Remarkable You stamp set. So there you go, watercolors, quick and easy. And I hope you guys have a fabulous Saturday. Remember, if there's any products that you want to purchase, use the online code, and I will not only put your name in the draw if you happen to purchase one of the retired stamp sets, but you also end up with a little creating package in the mail from me as a thank you, with probably one of these beautiful thank you cards, as well as every $60 get your name on my In It to Win It board. Okay, so that is all I got for you on my Simple Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you get creative with watercolor and using your blocks in a different way. Okay, get creative. It's like creating art. All right, have a great day. See you next time. And remember, subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming other YouTube videos on Simple Saturdays, as well as techniques and new releases for the catalog. Okay, bye.